on over to meatcanyon.store to buy new merch. The "If I beat them yuppies, you gon' tell on me" shirt was added just to our collection, and pre-orders end April 26th. So get yours before time runs out. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're going to be talking about comic conventions, Comic-Cons. There are all sorts of cons around the globe where people meet to celebrate their love of shared interest, but none are as popular or as influential as Comic-Con. The fan convention dates as far back as the 1960s and has evolved into one of the biggest annual events existing today. Throughout the 4-day event, over 100,000 fans continue to celebrate pop culture in all of its forms. But this is just one con of many. In fact, there are all sorts of local conventions that allow people from even the smallest towns to be a part of this experience. However, these conventions are not without their problems. Not only are they becoming more widely popular and densely packed, but the shift to a broader focus on pop culture over just comics has slowly driven many people away. And it goes without saying that putting many obsessive fans and collectors in the same place can lead to some imaginable horrors, all right? So, grab your badges and fresh stick of deodorant as we trudge through the chaos that is Comic-Con. And we wanted to do this video because we just recently went to Kansas City Comic-Con, Planet Comic-Con, and we were selling Margarets. We do have a Margaret toy for people who don't know, and it was a lot of fun. But I will say, does it even feel like Comic-Con anymore? It feels like just a celebrity meet and greet. Also, $120 to meet to what? To take a photo?
To meet Frodo himself.
Well, dude, they did Frodo and fucking Samwise Gamgee, whatever, as one. I think that was like $400 to do a paired photo for like a 60-second interaction. Hey, oh, I love your movie. Hey, thank you. You get ushered across. Is it not the great? Also, I saw Bruce Dickinson at the Kansas City Comic-Con. He's the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Has 5 like platinum albums. What do you charge $150 to sign an album? Isn't that crazy? Jacob, who works here, he went to sign his and he was like, "Oh, hey Bruce, how you doing?" He was like, "Oh." He just signed it and that was it. That was the interaction. That was it. Oh,
you're a big fan.
I'll be fine. I feel like conventions as a whole, we need to. The only ones I like now are they keep trimming them to where now they become even more like the niche conventions are the ones I go to. Like I like toy conventions, like little like underground shit where it's like I went to a GI. This is very cringe. I went to a G.I. Joe convention one time, not because I like G.I. Joes, but because there was just like small toy vendors there, and you're able to look at all. It was cool. You go to that shit and you're like, what the fuck is this even from? And that guy like floats out of the darkness and he's like, so actually that was like an import from Sweden. They only did like 300 of these, so it's like that kind of thing. And I like that. I'm not even the biggest comic guy, but it does feel weird going to a comic book convention and it's like that's the back burner. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares about the comics? It's all about the 3D printed dragons.
3D printed dragons, the same art prints and posters, Funko Pops, and did we say 3D dragons? A lot of 3D printed dragons. It's unfucking believable. One of the main appeals of attending a comic convention is the prospect of finding a cool piece of art or merch. Sadly, the Artist Alley is one of the most neglected parts of the con experience according to both staff and attendees, which I will say, Artist Alley is one of the loneliest, saddest places on earth. I want to look at people's art and walk through there, but I do hate it because it feels like I'm at like a dog shelter. You know what I mean? Where if you like look at one, you catch somebody in the eye, they're like,
and they have puppy dog eyes. And
well, it's like come buy something. I mean, it feels like take me home, doesn't it? It feels like that though. And you sit there and I always feel like, and I feel bad because I feel like I have to throw out a comment. Oh, I like the pens. Each year, hundreds of artists and creators pay good money to attend comic conventions to sell their own art and prints from their favorite fandoms. However, what was once a focal point of the convention has now been seemingly pushed to the side. At numerous events, the Artist Alley has been moved far from the main vendor floor with no signs to direct attendees, leaving most Artist Alley a barren wasteland, which is an even bigger kick in the teeth when it's like, yeah, I had to pay $600 to get a table up here. $600! If I flew in, how much money do I have to even break even? You know what I mean? Well, thank God I brought my prints and my sketchbook. It's like unfucking real. And then yeah, they put you in the shadow. The power. It's like a motion activated light in the back of the convention. It's super dark. Everyone's just in there like sitting at their table like this.
At least you could sit and like work on your comic.
Yeah, you could have done that at home. You could have done that at home and just taken a picture. I mean, it's the biggest scam that conventions do, I feel like, is making them they charge so much for a fucking table. Real estate. all the way in the back.
And then you have to pay $80 for Wi-Fi every day.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe that. Sometimes their designated spots have poor Wi-Fi, making sales take forever or nearly impossible to complete with a little square reader. It's fucking obnoxious. And even if you have a successful weekend at your booth, there are still tons of random problems that many artists don't account for. For example, comic publishers from Japan and the US send agents to conventions to shut down any booth selling any unauthorized merchandise. A fucking Midwest comic convention. You. Like an FBI agent or like a Men in Black. Is this your Naruto drawing? Yeah. Now you don't know how to draw. This video is sponsored by Incogni. These days it's hard to go anywhere where your data can't be found. With a quick scan of the internet, scammers and data brokers can find your home address and phone number, and criminals can open up lines of credit and file tax returns in your name. And that's why, for my peace of mind, I use Incogni. It's never good when your personal data gets out. Even if they aren't stealing from you, these people can use information to stalk, threaten, and harass you. This is unfortunately something that has come up in my own life, and to protect myself and my family, I need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Which is why Incogni's new custom removal feature is such a relief. If I find a site with my information on it, I can send it in Incogni, and their privacy experts work to get it removed. And it helps me find where my personal information is exposed on search engine sites to help wipe them away too. It can take years to scrub information off the web manually. Let Incogni do the messy work for you. Go to incogni.com/papameat and use code papameat for 60% off. Incogni helps wipe yourself from the internet. They can't harm you if they can't find you. Click the link below to claim your 60% off and get your personal data off the market. Thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. Some event organizers will set up events near the artist alley that directly distract from their booths. Like when one convention scheduled a 3-hour wrestling event right in front of the artist's booths, drawing away all their potential customers and costing them money. Hey, to be fair, it's kind of sweet.
You think putting an event like that would be like, hey, go do Artist Alley though, right? That's what my thing is. It's like, if there's something in the middle of Artist Alley, people have to go through there and walk through.
I think that they should put it to where you have to walk through to get to the vendors you want to do, so then they can experience and look at the stuff. There's some conventions where they'll put those motherfuckers on a totally different floor.
Yeah.
Like, this is the main floor, and then upstairs something's happening. I don't know what it is. It's that kind of thing. Which, to be fair, there are a lot of people who are like, the artists though who go there and they're like, they feel slighted. It's like, what do you expect? What do you expect by this point? You know? I guess the wrestling match took away all my money. It's like, yeah, dude, the wrestling match is way cooler than the fucking Joker print you have. Sorry. That's the reality of the situation. Many creators are left frustrated by these ongoing difficulties, and some are choosing to pack up and leave conventions early because it's no longer worth their time. It's not just the con making it hard for artists, but the artists themselves. At certain cons, staff are now having to remove booths from Artist Alley because they bring obnoxious lighting and sound setups that annoy nearby artists and attendees. What would they even be? What sounds would they have? Just jungle sounds?
Yeah.
Also, obnoxious lights. You're in a fully lit room. What could I mean, if it was a strobe light,
I think that's what
if I was sitting across from a strobe light and had to look at it all day, I might complain as well. But I mean, what the fuck else do you want it to be?
Can't they just tell them to turn it off? The staff? Oh no, you can't do that.
Maybe. That sounds like what they're maybe doing is telling them to take it down. I don't know.
I thought they were kicking them out and banning them for life.
Maybe it's just that immediate jump. Get out of here, never come back forever until the end of time. This can include massive displays which are deemed dangerous because they are unstable and hang over walkways. What are these? I can't, like, is this like Kanye's like stage setup, you know what I mean? Where it like hovers over the crowd.
Have you seen his new stage? It's a fucking
orb?
globe. Yeah.
It's insane. It has like random holes that shoots out smoke and stuff.
I think it spins too, because he walks and plays.
It spins?
I think so.
Good fucking lord. Don't put that in Artist Alley, is all I gotta say. On the other side, fans who attend these conventions are starting to dislike Artist Alley because they're all selling them the same prints. And very rarely do people bring original works of art anymore, which is true. A lot of the times, that's another thing with these conventions is it's these vendors who are going from cons to cons, but I feel like they're all getting stuff from the same supplier, so everything looks the exact same.
Or there's just trends, like everybody has a Joker thing.
A Joker, an anime
Man.
thing. Yeah. Whatever's the hot thing, they all are selling that exact same thing. In the last few years, AI art has also flooded conventions, leading more people to lose interest. And thankfully, Comic-Con has come out in support of artists and banned the sale of AI art and content at their events. That is, however, only going to apply to people who get caught, which also I think a lot of conventions aren't going to give a fuck after a while. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. All right. Go ahead. There still exist many artists who have positive experiences in the alley, being able to meet with other artists and make money doing what they love. Some of you might be wondering why the artist alley has been so forgotten by the event's organizers. Well, a big reason for that is that the slot being sold in the vendor halls bring in so much money in its place. Nowadays, if you attend any con or public event, you are bound to find tables of 3D printed garbage. And listen, I love 3D printed things, but it's the same idea of the vendors. They're all using the same files and printing the same shit to where now, when I see a 3D printed dragon, I have a full-blown panic attack. You know what I mean? I see him strung up and I feel like I'm like a fucking Vietnam vet. I get all claustrophobic and I have to leave. It's anytime. Dude, I've been seeing them at antique malls.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they there? You have like there's like a fucking Ronald McDonald sign, and all of a sudden there's a full booth of just fucking 3D printed dragons and beetles.
It's probably like the shop owner's like nephew or something. Can't I put my 3D printed stuff in here?
Here's the thing though, is it's never one. It's like, it's so many. To the point where I'm like, how much filament and time went into these fucking dragons, dude? It's unreal. These booths have taken over comic conventions, offering overpriced items like fidget dragon prints, busts of popular characters, and decorative swords, some of which are going for $50 or more. What do you think about the whole sword? Remember we went to like a card collection convention that we did on our Media Magic, and there was like a fucking giant booth.
Oh, there's multiple.
Laid out like a fucking, like a Nigerian arms salesman. I was like, holy fuck. There's Keyblades and Final Fantasy swords. He's like, pick which one you like. Should I get the Keyblade?
It would look mean with the Keyblade.
Keyblade with the
Naruto.
It was great. I thought I was on the set of fucking Blood Diamond for a second, looking at all these goddamn swords.
I guess if you're a fan of it, I wouldn't buy a sword.
If I was a kid.
Yeah.
I guess to be fair, if I was like that was like my big appeal going to the Renaissance Fair when I was a kid. Getting like the wooden swords and the foam swords and that kind of stuff. So I guess I could see it. I was always hyped whenever someone had like an Aragorn sword.
Or like Kratos's blades.
Oh yeah, the Chaos Blades or something. Yeah, I would be so stoked. Those are not even the worst things sold on the vendor floor. In recent years, Labubus and other blind boxes have taken over the sales floor, with Pop Mart usually having massive booths at comic conventions. Trendy items like Labubus will likely fade away within 5 years. Funko Pops, however, are a permanent fixture, dominating the vendor floor like a goddamn cancer. Which if you, here's the thing. Never mind.
What?
Man. If you like Funko Pops is one thing, but I wish that there was a thing where they're like, I wish conventions would be like, we have two. There's two vendors that do the Funko Pops. It's everywhere. It's fucking every booth you go by. To the point, and you know what's weird is I'll even do a couple laps throughout the day or do whatever. None of them sell. I want to actually know if there's someone who sells Funko Pops and that watches our videos at a convention, how much honestly are you selling? Because every time I go by, I never see anyone holding. Actually, that's not true. If there's an actor there who is of that, I'm like, and if anything, just bring those Funko Pops. I saw like a fucking Art the Clown one because that dude was there. And it's like, oh, that's the perfect thing if you want to get signed. But then it's just it's the ugliest fucking little creature in a box you've ever seen. I'd rather have like a print or something signed, but I digress.
Could you imagine going up to an actor and they hand you a Funko Pop to sign? You know, just like.
If someone came to me and they're like, could you sign my Funko Pop of you? I make jokes about me shooting myself all the time, but you know what I would do. As soon as you walk through the venue doors, your eyes will be met with Funko Pops stacked to the ceiling at countless booths. I mean, it's like a fucking wall of Funkos. What's even crazier is that they are resellers and not even like official booths. It's just people upselling you Funko Pops. Blatantly to your face. Oh yeah, I'm gonna charge 5% extra. I've had people say that to me. Well, I gotta charge 5% extra because to keep making the booth fee. No one's making you be here. You're putting that on me, the customer? Okay. It would be understandable to have 2 or 3 booths, but the plastic figurines cover the entire floor and can even be found at booths unrelated to Funko Pops, even like comic booths or anything. Still, tons of Funkos. Funko, once again, has ruined my day. Some vendors resell their exclusive Funkos, which can show price tags up to $40,000 for a single Funko. And we've covered the insanity of Funko Pops before. However, if someone is going to pay for an item that expensive, you'd think it'd be a genuine movie prop or like a rare comic at one of these conventions instead of just a rare Funko. And if they're that popular, why is there not just, this is just the Funko convention? I'm saying a touring thing that's as regular as Comic-Con. So you just push those out. That way, if you see it at one of the other conventions, you have every right to stone them. We go into archaic rules and laws from days of old in the Bible, and we stone these people.
You think Funkos will eventually... I mean, they're dying, but do you think they'll die completely?
I don't think so. It has too many movie IPs to where, if anything, there'll probably be a thing that happens that usually happens with the youth is like, ironically, it'll come back. Like the way that like some fashion from the early 2000s is coming back. Like I feel like Funkos are going to come back in a weird way. Like the same way that people like nowadays are like, oh, I love Beanie Babies. It's like, who the fuck? Like, really? You want to collect Beanie Babies now?
You weren't even born.
I think it's going to have that effect. The sad reality is that many convention goers will buy multiple Funkos from multiple vendors, which only encourages more resellers to show up and block out potentially unique or cool booths. Which also, I have to, I very rarely see people buy the Funkos. And if it is that profitable, I just feel like you would just see way more of them.
You think people are ashamed of carrying their Funkos around?
That's a very good point. I do. I think that there's a stigma now that I think, because you know, whenever you're like walking to a convention, you're like walking by and someone's like walking by and they do like,
yeah.
And you're like, it's because of the Funko.
I'll put it in my bag.
Exactly. Now I have a big black bag I put all my Funkos in. Look like fucking Krampus leaving the Comic-Con.
I was gonna say, like, Funkos are mass produced, so I mean, granted, there's rarer ones, but like, buy them online. Like, why are you going to a convention and like being like, oh, I don't have that Funko.
I mean, I get it. Probably is a thing where it's like maybe they're not available online. I'm just playing devil's advocate of like maybe it's also just the thrill of the hunt.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair. People like going.
Yeah,
out and
I mean, there's
stuff.
things where it's like I could get online, but it's the idea of being like I come across it one day somehow feels more special in some weird chimp-like thought pattern that I have in my head. I don't know. While the San Diego Comic-Con and other large conventions have their own problems and controversies, there are a bunch of smaller local cons that are just as bad, if not worse. The biggest problem that many small comic conventions face is not having the money or the staff to put on a proper event. Superfan Comic-Con was a local comic convention held in Toronto, Canada. In 2014, that was a complete and total disaster. Organizers of the event estimated that there would be over 15,000 attendees, which drew many vendors and celebrities. However, on the day of the event, only 2,000 people showed up, causing many of the main attractions to pack up and leave due to low sales and feeling misled. Which, considering how expensive it is to lock down booth space, this is especially bad for those trying to actually make a living doing like the circuit and stuff, right? Also, people like a Toronto thing, I wonder how many people actually flew.
Oh, yeah.
Flew out of country to go there.
I would say most of them.
Also, 2,000 people is so small. Like in the grand, like I'm trying to picture how big the space is. Like the one in Kansas City is like in a huge convention space. I'm wondering if it's like just how empty and quiet was that convention.
Very awkward, yeah.
Yeah. Also, packing up early would kill me.
I would just stay for the whole thing.
Fuck it, I'm already here. I'll just leave my booth unattended and go like hang out in Toronto or something like that. A year later, at the Fanfare Comic Convention, numerous celebrity guests canceled their appearance because the organizers didn't have enough money to pay them to show up. And this has been a growing problem in the industry where even C-list celebrities were asking for like a shit ton of money and personal services to appear at conventions, making it harder for small cons to get good guests. Which also, here's the thing, fuck the celebrities. What's insane and totally criminal to me is that like, let's say like a Matthew Lillard, whatever. That motherfucker's probably getting like 50 to 80 grand to show up for a weekend, right? And then he's having you pay 100 to 150 bucks to what? To sign a picture? To take a selfie with them?
Is that the con making him do it though?
I think it's just him. I think they're saying that by you coming here, they might take a small cut, but I doubt it. I bet you they're paying him and they're like, you can come here and then you can charge people to do that because we know that we're gonna put your face on a billboard and then it's gonna drive a shit ton of ticket sales is what I think it's gonna be. Yeah, it's just a way for them to drive ticket sales. That's all it is. I mean, hey, make that bread, I guess. And if people are willing to like pay for it, who am I to say? I don't know. Despite not having the same resources, smaller cons still have tons of cosplayers and interesting characters who can ruin other people's experiences. While at a small con, a man in cosplay was waiting for his wife to return from getting an autograph when a morbidly obese, acne-ridden couple approached him and started taking pictures. The woman who had a horrid stench yelled, "I want all that!" and took a picture of his ass before walking away. Did we have to dig into their looks that hard?
You have to paint a picture.
Also, at a certain point, which this is obviously, I'm not saying that overtly sexual, but if you're into cosplay, like obviously going to someone and being like, oh, I want all that, it's a bit much. But I mean, are you not opening up people to just like take a picture of you?
Yeah, I feel like if you're at a convention,
No,
as long as it's a normal picture.
No, don't get me wrong. There are etiquettes to it. I've seen people go up and they're like, do you mind if I snap a photo? Which is extremely polite. But I've also seen people like walk by and they'll like wait till they're behind someone and then like take photos of them. Not necessarily sexually of like their ass or anything, but I just mean like that they didn't want to have the
interaction.
Yeah. Which it's like just so much creepier. And it's so obvious too, especially whenever the old guys like hold the camera like this. Adjust their glasses. Oh, what's also with when old people take pictures? They always have to look at it and then suspiciously look around. Have you noticed that? Every time I saw it at Comic-Con, anytime someone, they'd be like, it makes it seem like they just took a picture of something they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Making sure they didn't get caught taking the picture.
This guy just took a picture of me standing there. I looked at him. I said, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he didn't say anything. He just
walked away.
Can't say hide me? Fuck's sakes. One of the biggest attractions at any comic convention, big or small, is the celebrity panel, where guests can meet and interact with their favorite movie stars or comic artists. If you thought you could just walk through the doors when the panel starts, be prepared for a disappointing weekend. Regardless of the size, lines for these talks usually take hours, or even a full day to stand through to talk to one of these motherfuckers. In advance, with many fans pitching tents and sleeping overnight to hold their spot, to talk to like a guy from Supernatural. One of the actors from Supernatural. Oh, God, I hope I meet him. I love your show. Thanks. Oh, whoa, that was amazing.
I mean, they cut people off, right?
Oh, yeah.
They realize, like, oh, wait.
I think there's a literal count. Like, I think that that's another thing that the cons will do is be like, on these specific days, how many people are you willing to sit through? And, you know, the actors will be like, I don't know, how many are willing to pay? And after a while, though, I think that they do cut it off because they don't want to block shit, but I don't know. Because this is so common, most venues have specific practices to help prevent lines from getting out of hand. Line capping is when staff temporarily stop people from getting in line. Otherwise, they would wrap around the entire con venue and sometimes even out the door. And most venues also have security guards and staff walking up and down the line to prevent people from cutting or to stop fights. What remains is a cramped graveyard of nerds sleeping in the cold so they can be the first to receive their next hit of Marvel slop dopamines. Jesus, dude. Motherfuckers getting personal in this document. Holy shit. People camping out just to, like, you know, be able to interact with somebody that, I mean, at this point, though, you'd have to assume that these people are like, I love this actor. You know, it's weird, though, is, I mean, a lot of people I hear they wait in these lines for hours, and they're like, yeah, I mean, I like that one movie they're in. It's like they're not even that big of a fan.
Oh, that's
it's so
bizarre.
weird. There's some people where they're, like, shaking and they'll cry. Like, and I'm like, hey, obviously this means something to you that we don't understand, but to just be so casual, like, oh, there's nothing else better to do.
Well, there's some people who are like, oh, I don't know him, but he looks popular, so I gotta meet him.
Yeah.
There's like people like that mentality of FOMO. Like, if I don't do this, I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret it.
Guy said that to me at the convention.
What?
Well, he like went up and he's looking at the line that you had, and he's just like, who is this guy? What, is he popular? I was like, oh yeah, we're kind of popular. We have a YouTube channel. Anyways, was talking to him. He's just like, I don't know you guys, but I feel like I gotta buy something from you. I feel like I'm missing out.
I've had people say it to me, and I'm like, you absolutely don't have to do that. If anything, it'd make me more comfortable if you just didn't do that. I feel like you're just popular, I gotta buy something. I'm like, that's like the opposite. You should go to somebody who's not doing super great and help them out. You know what I mean? I'm still like a toy, like an oven toy. Here, take it. Take the wallet. There's no amount of time that's too much for passionate fans. Some are so dedicated, they'll go to great lengths to meet their favorite celebrity. The line to see Jason Momoa at the Basingstoke Comic-Con was a total disaster, as the event organizers overbooked the panel, leaving people waiting over 12 hours to get inside. To make matters worse, Jason left after one day despite being scheduled for the whole weekend, and numerous staff members were physically attacked by guests in line after being forced to hold their place in the sweltering heat. While those who stood in line were justified in being angry, the actual temperature was only about 77 degrees. And the report of the disaster claimed it was akin to Firefest, which blew it way out of proportion.
A bunch of nerds complaining.
Jason Momoa, I'm getting sunburned! 12 hours for Jason Momoa? Is that worth it?
No.
Besides like Khal Drogo and Aquaman, has he been in anything else? Minecraft, actually. Never mind. Minecraft. Minecraft. Conventions can often be a flood to the senses. It's not just loud sounds you have to worry about, however, because the stench is even more powerful. Like other events, comic conventions are no strangers to the smell of body odor and feces. Sweating at a con is normal. You're walking around all day, sometimes in layers of cosplay attire that can cause you to otherwise overheat, right? Or even just the amount of body heat in there, you're walking around and it is what it is. People are gonna sweat. However, it's hard to deny that some attendees are simply unhygienic, no matter how many people want to blame it on the venue's bad airflow. God damn, fucking turn on the AC. It's like other people have sweatshirts on. Jesus. For years now, people have complained to the event organizers about the smell and even bring signs chastising smelly attendees that read, and I quote, "If you could afford the entry ticket, you can afford a stick of deodorant." Maybe that's just what people need sometimes, is a nice kick in the ass. At Comic-Con, however, you'll sometimes see things that make you question whether or not the attendees are even human. What? God damn. Well, at the New York Comic-Con, numerous guests reported seeing and smelling smears of human poop right in the middle of the show floor. How? Who did this? I've seen some people do some sneaky shits, though, in public.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly pull out their pants, and they walk off, and people like step in it and stuff.
Or they do the waddle and they kick it out of their pant
Kick
leg.
it out of their pants. The waddle and kick, you can get prison time for doing that shit, right?
Can you?
I would assume. For shitting on the floor? I mean, like, that's got to be some type of act of bioterrorism, you would assume, right?
I've seen this one where this lady, she couldn't hold her diarrhea, so she like pulled her pants down and like shit in like the refrigerated like produce area.
People are so fucking vile. It's unbelievable, man. Not only did someone walk through it, but the staff believed that the person who did this dropped it while walking around the con as if it was smooth and subtle. Well, they don't know who it was, so it probably was pretty fucking smooth and subtle. Event staff would block off area as janitors made their way through the crowd. They had to actively tell people to stop taking photos. Despite the sneaky attendees and crazy fans, comic conventions remain among the most popular kinds of conventions in the United States. Even though I will say, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, it feels like it's getting worse every year. Like I have a feeling like after a while, it's going to completely revert to meet a celebrity. The title of Comic Con is, I feel like that has to go away soon, and it's going to just be Celebrity Con or something. It really is nothing more than a fun place where people get to gather and share their nerdy interests, meet others in their fan communities, and go home with some cool shit. If you can attend a Comic Con near you, have fun, but be mindful and avoid bothering people. And for the love of God, bring deodorant. And also, dude, don't pay for the celebrity line. In my opinion.
I think I say don't shit your pants.
Oh yeah, that should go without saying. I guess what I'm saying is this video just made me, it has made me an advocate for being like, I mean, who am I to say? I just like, it's never worth it. They're never going to say anything. You're going to walk up and it's like it's cool meeting people that you're like, I'm a huge fan of you. But at the end of the day, it's the conversation's 60 seconds, if that, and then you get to go off and do whatever. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. If anything, I would say try to go to some place where like, look at the actual people who are like selling real art and try to pick up that. At least for me personally, that's where I have the most.
Yeah, support artists.
It's fucking cool. That's also why I like local zine cons and all that kind of like, I don't know, that's like some hipster artsy shit. There's a lot of dog shit stuff there too. But let me tell you, it's cool seeing local people in your community, especially if you're in like a flyover Midwest state or something. There's a lot of fucking cool artists in your area that might be making some shit where you're like, oh, this is sick. Especially if you are a fan of comics. There's like a lot of local comic people that you should check out their stuff. It's cool. You know what I mean? So that's all I have. Don't go to Comic-Con. Is that bad? I will say, can I at least say this? At our Comic-Con, thank you to everyone who did come out. Everyone was super nice. I couldn't believe the amount of people that just kind of showed up. We kind of sprung it out of nowhere, so it was a bit of a surprise, but people got to go and see Margaret and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and everybody was super fucking cool. So many nice people. So.
And the staff tried to shut you down.
The staff did try shutting us down and made it really awkward, but I think they were just doing their jobs too. You can't blame them. It is what it is. So. See you in the next one. Bye!